Oh, that's funny. Anytime I have something I want to show you, I'm going to turn the video camera back on, and I was really wondering, do I need my four penny finish nails? This is what I use. 4Ds, 1.5 inch, the finish nails, and they're called bright brass, not bright brass, just steel. And this is bright. They have coated ones too, galvanized, but I never use those. You could use those on the exterior, but these you would use on the interior. This was $4.75 for a little pound box, and I was like, do I get them? Do I get them? Because I had. See, we had this, and this is for hanging pictures or just different things. We got a little wire in there. Got some picture hangers, things over here, different size nails. And I thought, hey, here's some little nails right here. Could I use those? Yeah, I could have used those. I could have used this. This is a smaller one even. That would have worked to tack the nails back. And I thought maybe I can use some of the nails that came out of it. I wasn't sure if they were 4 penny finish nails. Years ago, they installed everything by hand. When I first started in construction years ago, they didn't have nail guns. You did everything by hand. You had to install door jambs with nails and all the trim with little nails. Yeah, so you know what? I might not even use those finish nails, and I don't generally use finish nails for much anymore. I'm usually I've got other ways to fix things, and if I don't need those, next time I'm at Home Depot, guess what? I'm gonna take them back, get my money back, and use that for something else. When I was there at the store, of course, I had to, I went and got some caulking, and this is what I'm going to use when I caulk. This is the stuff I generally use, Alex Plus. And I make sure I get the white, because there's some in clear containers that say clear, or in white containers that says clear up there. And if you're not paying attention, you may not realize that. And you might got back to the house and thought, oh shoot, I don't want clear, I want white. Okay? And so I got some of that, and I got my nice caulk gun there, and I'm good to go for today. Here's something else that's going to help me with my project. No, not the coffee at McDonald's. $1 for small, medium, or large. Of course I got the large. And I've got my phone set on, see? Classic rock. Oh, now I missed it. Classic rock radio. And I usually play that. That's really interesting. They get some of the stories and stuff. And I even brought my charger because I don't want my phone to run out. And so I can listen to music all day long. Of course, that's going to help me with my project. Okay, I just took my little nail. See, I've only got one nail left there, and I measured an 1 3/8 over. And I measured an 1 3/8 at the bottom. See, look at that. This is the first time install for this particular door, but it's not the first time install in this condo. This condo is probably, oh, I don't know, 15 years old. And so, okay, so I've tacked that there. And now, and that's all I have to do. I don't have to nail anything else just yet, okay? I don't even have to nail the top. This is still loose. And after I get this figured out where I want, then I'll nail this off, and then I'll line that up, and I'll line up the middle, and then I'll nail it, and it'll be done. But see, what I'm gonna have to do is, as I close the door, I know it's gonna hit up at the top first, right? But I've got it pushed out now. Now I've got that nice and flush up there at the top. The bottom's still sticking out because I've got to push it in. And see, I got it clicked in right there. It's still sticking out at the bottom, but it's not hitting the door stop yet. Now I can put, and I'm going to push on this door and see how that's going to go, and that's going to be fine. I've got a little bit of tension on there, and I know that when I install my new strike plate, or if I was if I was saving this strike plate, for instance, then I can adjust this strike plate. And most strike plates have a little tab on them. And I can't really see this one. I think you can, yeah. See that tab? You take this off and then you bend that with your pair of pliers. And then that tab, you can move it at an angle, and then that'll help push the door over in the middle. And see, if it's not far enough, if you bend that tab too far, your door doesn't want to latch securely, or you just barely hit the handle and it pops open. And so what I may end up doing later, before I install the new strike plate, I'll hold it up there, use the same holes or whatever, and then I'll decide, okay, maybe I need to move the strike plate over 1/8 of an inch, or so, and then I'll notch out the side of there, move it over, pre-drill some other holes, put longer screws in so that the screws go into the wood behind the door jamb, you know what I mean, the 2x4, and then that'll push the strike plate over just enough to get this door for the bottom of the door to go in, because obviously the bottom of the door is not going to go in any further than where my strike plate is. See, I've got the strike plate in there, and this is still sticking way out. But once I adjust the strike plate, see, if I adjust the strike plate and push it in right there, like that, I can get it in further. You see what I mean? And I can get it just about where it needs to go down here at the bottom. And the strike plate is what's going to hold this door closed and let it stick in a little bit further. Do you see what I mean? And so I know that's going to work now. Okay? So where the strike is, I'm going to have to figure out exactly how I want this, okay, so that I can measure over and put my nail my door stop in the middle. Then I can tack all that off. I can nail the top, and then I can check out this door before I take it down. I can check on it to see at that point. Then I'm going to check and see if it's sagging or anything. And see, as I look at it, see how close the door edge is to here? I mean, if it goes a little bit more, it's going to start rubbing, and I'm going to have new paint on the edge of this door and new paint on the door jamb. And so, but you see how tight that is? Now, as you go down, it gets bigger, doesn't it? See there? Look how big that is. So I know that this door has sagged. I've got enough room here to suck this hinge over a little bit at the bottom. And you see down here, see how tight that is right now? Then later on, when I get my new hinges, when I put the door back up there after painting, because I'm gonna change all the hinges and everything, I'm gonna angle this hinge over a little bit to lessen this gap right in there, okay? You see? And I can do that after the door's painted, right? I couldn't fix the edge of this and make it better. See how when I latch that, see how this is pretty much flush there. Remember before it was sticking in 5/16 of an inch. And see down here at the bottom, it's still sticking out, right? I mean, you're not going to have as much of a gap there once I fix the hinge, but you're going to have this right here not being flush until I fix the strike plate, move the strike plate over. See, now you watch, when I push the strike at the strike plate location, if we were to push that in closer, because see, I can push it in with my foot, you see, and it's going to be pretty much flush with the door jamb, not the casing, right? what I can't do, I'm not going to do that every time I close this door. The only place I'm going to close the door is at the strike plate, right? If I push at the strike plate, you see, I push that right there. You see there how far I push that in? And that's what I'm going to do. And that's going to fix this door. And this door is going to be a little stout when we close the door. We're not going to be opening and closing this door all the time because it's just a little storage closet. And I'll know, my phone's going off. And I'll know that every time I push it, I'm going to have to push in a little bit. And when I open the door, it's just going to pop. It's going to kind of pop open. But that's okay. And then hopefully after time, maybe the door will relax a little bit and kind of bend and flex a little bit. And if it doesn't, you know, there's enough room for this door to flex because it's a hollow core door. Okay, it would flex even more than that if that was a wider door. Now see, this door. Let's see. This one's only 2 feet or so, 18 inches. See, and most doors are 2 foot 8 inches or 32 inches. That's 2 foot 8, huh? Or 2 foot 6, like bathroom doors and stuff. That gives me a little bit more of the door to flex. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'll be working on this door next, and I'll have a little bit easier time than this over here. But hey, it's gonna work. And it didn't really take me that long to do it, especially for the fact that I'm gonna be repainting. I'm gonna be repainting all the doors and frames anyways, right? And so why not do the best you can before that time? Now, if I wasn't painting, if I wasn't gonna paint this whole door and everything was fine, and you needed to mess around, and you figured you needed to adjust the stock and all that kind of stuff, you can still do that and caulk it, and then you might need a little bit of paint touch-up, you know, just down in here and stuff, and you could do that, okay? You decide for whatever your project needs.